A record-setting Russian spacewalk ended with a critical antenna facing the wrong way outside the International Space Station. Cosmonauts Aleksandr Misurkin, 40, and Anton Shkaplerov, 45, had to venture outside to swap out an old comms module with a new communications rod. But when they installed the antenna, designed to improve comms with Russia's mission control in Moscow, it was left facing 180 degrees from its intended position. The trouble arose toward the end of a spacewalk lasting more than 8 hours, the longest ever by Russians and the 5th longest overall. NASA's mission control has reported the antenna is still working, but Russian space officials are now assessing whether the device needs repositioning. Issues arose after Misurkin and Shkaplerov successfully replaced an electronics box to upgrade the antenna on Friday. The new antenna, a long boom with a 4-foot (1.2-meter) dish at the end, had been folded up before the repair work. The pair watched in dismay as the antenna got hung up on the Russian side of the complex and could not be extended properly. The cosmonauts pushed as flight controllers tried repeatedly, via remote commanding, to rotate the antenna into the right position. Finally, someone shouted in Russian, "It's moving." It is in place. NASA mission control said from Houston that the antenna wound up in a position 180 degrees farther than anticipated. The spacewalk dragged on so long, lasting 8 hours and 13 minutes, that Misurkin and Shkaplerov ended up surpassing the previous Russian record of 8 hours and 7 minutes, set in 2013. It was only supposed to last 6.5 hours. Are you kidding us? One of them asked when they heard about the record. NASA still holds the world record, with a spacewalk just shy of 9 hours back in 2001. Misurkin and Shkaplerov also asked flight controllers whether the antenna was operating, or have we just wasted our time? The response: it's being evaluated. It was the second spacewalk in as many weeks. On January 23, 2 U.S. astronauts went out to give a new hand to the station's big robotic arm. NASA had planned another spacewalk this week, but bumped it to mid-February because engineers needed extra time to get the mechanical hand working. After removing the old, obsolete electronics box from the antenna, an original part, launched in 2000, Misurkin shoved it away from the space station. The bundle tumbled harmlessly away, 250 miles, 400 kilometers, above the North Atlantic. The 27 kilograms, 60 pounds, box, measuring just a couple of feet, or less than a meter, was hurled in a direction that will not intersect with the space station, according to NASA. While the Russians routinely toss old equipment and use towels overboard during spacewalks, NASA prefers to secure no longer needed items, or, if possible, bring them inside. Except for SpaceX's cargo ships, empty supply capsules are filled with trash and set loose to burn up in the atmosphere. The discarded electronics box will re-enter and burn up too. Mission Control said it did not know when that will occur. Misurkin will return to Earth at the end of this month with 2 NASA crewmates. The space station is currently home to 2 Russians, 3 Americans and 1 Japanese.